to Bad Larry.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry. In today's episode, we continue the Inferno series, the epic saga, with part 24 coming in X-Terminators number 4, the final issue of this little X-Terminators team. Let's check out that cover. I rate this cover a 90 out of 100, so it gets an A. We see almost all of the characters involved. It's very colorful. It lets you know what's going on. The only downfall is that the background is a little bland. There's not much going on. So that's the only thing that's drawing this cover down. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. We start this issue off with N'ASTIRH. He has the Terminator kids wrapped up in some sort of stepping disc prison. And he calls the humans down below human offal. And I had to look up what offal is. And offal is the entrails of animals that's used as food. So he's calling all of humanity guts that is going to be consumed as food for his demons. So nasty. And he's super proud of himself. N'ASTIRH, his whole plan is coming to fruition. His little pentagram that's given him super magic powers is stable, which is using all of the mutant babies as the little waypoints. The stepping disc that he tricked Magik into opening, that he's now controlling to stay open, is allowing the flood of demons to just flood into Earth's dimension, is what we see here. It looks like it's just coming right at you, just going to overthrow humanity. He's super proud of himself. The Exterminator kids have never met the New Mutants, and to be fair, Illyana Rasputin, aka Darkchild, aka Magik, in her final Super Saiyan form, all red with horns and hooved feet, she looks just like a demon, as well as Sunspot, all black, he looks like a demon. So the Exterminator kids who are locked up in the stepping disc prison don't know if these new characters are friend or foe yet. We see N'ASTIRH is about to reward his loyal demon servant Crotus by feeding him Leach and Bubblegum Head Arthur. But to cause a distraction, Taki the Whiz Kid realizes that he's been tricked by N'ASTIRH. N'ASTIRH says, yeah, duh, I'm a demon, I'm gonna trick you. And instead of killing Taki, he decides he's going to keep him around for a little bit. You always want to keep a good IT person in your back pocket, you know what I mean? And as he flies away, he says to Taki, don't be too down on yourself. You know, I tricked Darkchild, aka Magik, just as bad as I tricked you. You know, you're all dummies in my plan. The Darkchild is pissed at N'ASTIRH. How dare you not keep your word? And N'ASTIRH's like, too bad, too sad, I'm a demon, that's what I do, baby. Crotus, the loyal servant to N'ASTIRH, was told to keep an eye on Taki, and that's just what he does. And Taki says, oh no, you're too good of a demon. If only I had a chance to unplug that plug, it would disrupt the whole thing. So Leach and Bubblegum Head Arthur pick up what Taki is dropping, crawl under the machine, and unplug it. The machine was powering the spell that was keeping the stepping disc open, which was allowing all the demons from Limbo to flood into Earth. And now that Leach and Bubblegum Head Arthur has unplugged the machine, well, all those spells are being turned off, which is freeing the Exterminator team and is closing the stepping disc. Taki is laughing at Crotus, saying, oh, who's going to get blamed for this? Crotus is like, oh man, I got to go plug that machine back in. Taki says, you better not, it's going to shock the shit out of you. And Crotus is like, I don't care. I'd rather get shocked than deal with the wrath of N'ASTIRH. And Skids tries to stop old Crotus from plugging the machine back in. But she's too late. Crotus has plugged the machine back in, which has activated Taki's booty trap. Ding, ding, ding. One extra crispy Crotus coming up, please. Bubblegum Head Arthur and Leach are worried about Skids, but you know, she's got her force field. Nothing can really touch her when she's conscious. Like I said, Skids is just fine. Nothing can touch her when she's awake. She has her super powerful force field that everything just skids right off of her. The machine is plugged back in. which has opened up the portal and activated the pentagram again. So they're kind of back to square one in stopping the N'ASTIRH. The only thing that they did accomplish was freeing the X-Terminator team. So at least they got that done. But the question is, how are they going to shut this thing down? How are they going to do it? Skids also makes an observation. Magik has somehow just disappeared, so we don't know where she's gone off to. We'll have to find out later. N'ASTIRH, the horse-faced super demon here, Sorcerer Supreme, has backup plans upon backup plans. And if you remember back in Avengers number 300, he had kidnapped Franklin Richards, which he had used to power the pentagram. And we all know how that ended up. N'ASTIRH has to have all of these backup plans because he's fighting enemies at every angle. He's having to fight the Avengers. He's having to fight the Exterminator kids. He's having to battle the Magik and the New Mutants, and also one of his own kind who's vying for the same position N'ASTIRH is, ruler of everything. And we see Sim, who's infected with the techno-organic virus here, battling N'ASTIRH. And N'ASTIRH has realized that he saw a flicker in the power, so he orders all his demons to protect the computer at all costs. He sees that the Exterminator team is free. He has to make sure that computer stays active and keeps his spells working. That's his main focus right now. The Exterminator mutant kids are pretty powerful and pretty good fighters on their own. They have been training with X Factor. But even with their powers and even with their training, there's only just a few of them, and they are just teenager kids. And they have to hold off this horde of demons. The horde of demons are just too plentiful. How are they going to survive? They need to get out of there. Plus, they realize that maybe if they can't mess with the computer, they can do something with those babies in the sky. Maybe that can disrupt everything. But how are they going to get up there? They can't even fly. Well, Taki has a plan for that. Remember, Taki can take any machine and transform it to his will. He's kind of like Forge in that way. He can create anything technological into anything else technological. So he's transformed some generator on the roof to these awesome flying machines. Check it out. Now they take to the sky. Crotus is extra crispy and extra pissed. And he tells the demons, Crotus can't fly. He's a demon without wings. He tells one of them, hey, we better go catch these idiots and kill them. I want revenge. Taki's little airplanes are pretty fast, but they're not faster than demons. Crotus quickly catches back up to Taki, busts him out of that airplane, and takes him back to N'ASTIRH. But Taki tells the team, hey, these ships are breakaways, so now everybody's got their own little airplane to fly. That's pretty fun. None of these kids have ever flown on an airplane before. Boo Boom says, oh, it's like a video game. Just use the joystick, up, down, left, right. But where's the shooty button on this thing? As Crotus brings Taki back to N'ASTIRH, we see that apparently N'ASTIRH and Sim have stopped fighting and are now just talking it out. Sim makes fun of N'ASTIRH for having to use human kids or human mutants to execute his plans when Sim just wants to use pure force and his techno-organic virus to overtake everything. But as I told you before, N'ASTIRH is more clever than Sim. He uses force, but also a lot of magic and trickery. The Exterminator kids are having a blast fighting these demons in these little makeshift airplanes. Skids has found the pew-pew button, but Boom Boom and Rictor have opted to just take the roof off and use their mutant powers as their offensive weapons. But even if they're in airplanes and even if they have the ability to fight off some of these demons, there are just so many. How are they going to get to those little babies and save those babies up there being used as energy portals for the pentagram, the evil pentagram? There are 10 babies to save, but hey, if they have to do it one at a time, they got to do it one at a time. So Skids makes a break for it, even though all these demons are on her tail. She thinks that she can outrun these demons and save a baby on her own. But the light is so bright she can't see there's a demon up there protecting one of the babies. As she reaches out for it, she has a hard time grasping it because of her powers. Everything just slides off right off of her. The demon comes up from behind her, attacks her. She drops the baby. Oh no! Whew! Leach has caught the baby, but in her efforts, she had to put her little force field down, which allowed this green demon to knock her ass out. Now, Rusty Collins has to come and try and save Skids. And as Rusty does save Skids from falling to her death, he gets himself knocked out by the same demon. And to be fair, this one demon has taken out two powerful members of the Exterminator team, Rusty and Skids. So, good for him. But Cannonball and the New Mutants come in to save the day. They realize that the Exterminator kids are helping disrupt everything, so they realize that they better help them out. Danny Moonstar jumps into the ship that has Rusty and Skids unconscious to help them out, while Sunspot, Warlock, and Gormir go and save the ship that's empty from crashing and killing civilians. Back in the day, Boom Boom and Sunspot used to be on a little team together called the Fallen Angels, so they're having a little bit of a reunion. And Sunspot's like, yeah, how you fly this thing? And Boom Boom tells him, and then gets a little jealous because she sees Gossamer hanging all over Sunspot. I don't know if they had a thing with each other or not. But again, that's kind of what her alien race does. She gets people jealous in a romantic, emotional way. Causes tension between even her friends. As Skids and Rusty Collins are coming back to, Rusty has a really bad gash on the back of his head. Luckily, Skids wishes really bad that Rusty had a bandage, and kaboom! Just like that, a bandage is formed. That's what Danny Moonstar, aka Mirage's power is. She can manifest your greatest wish or your greatest fear. So here's the key. You got to stay positive out there, people. Both teams are going to work together. The New Mutants are going to try to save the babies, while Exterminators are going to go try and save Taki from N'ASTIRH. N'ASTIRH says, I've still got more tricks up my sleeve. And this is why N'ASTIRH saved Taki from being Crotus's lunch earlier in the issue. He needs Taki to interface with the computer. Demons, whenever they interface with technology, it just blows the computers up. So N'ASTIRH needs Taki to operate the computer. Taki tries to transform his chair and get out of there. He's refusing to help N'ASTIRH. But N'ASTIRH can transform things as well. He's a super sorcerer magician, so he overpowers Taki's power and turns his chair into a prison, just having his hands free. And Sam laughs at N'ASTIRH, saying, "Oh, you use these idiot human mutants. Well, I just have the techno-organic virus. Look what I could do." He snatches up a bird, turns it into a techno-organic creature, and then consumes it. N'ASTIRH, not to be outdone by Sam, says, "Oh yeah? Well, look what I can do. I have a super touch as well." So he grabs Taki's head, and because he's a super powerful magician demon, he sets a spell upon Taki, which controls his actual body and makes him do what he wants him to do. And now they're back to battling out. Sim versus N'ASTIRH. N'ASTIRH is super proud of himself. He's mind-controlling Taki's fingers. He has him do a little click-clack on the computer, which causes an explosion, a magical explosion to come and defeat his foe Sim with some sort of magic volcano eruption from Limbo. Taki realizes he's under mind or body control from N'ASTIRH, but he still has a will of his own, and he uses as much of his willpower to click-clack a few buttons on the computer, which magnifies the last spell, which then kablooey sets off 10 times more bombs, which also affects N'ASTIRH. M tells N'ASTIRH, "See what I told you? You mess with these humans, they're going to betray you. They're not so easily controlled. My techno-organic virus is going to heal me. What about you?" And N'ASTIRH says, "Well, my magic is going to heal me, and maybe you're right. I'm just going to get another human to do my bidding. I'm done with this kid. He keeps tricking me." Well, I tricked him, he's tricking me, so I'm just going to crush him up. Rictor sees that the ground is crushing Taki. He runs over as quick as he can and uses his earthquake powers to free Taki from the rubble. N'ASTIRH's battling foes at every front. He's having to fight Sin face to face, but he's also fighting the X-Terminator kids from destroying the computer. So he's having his magic spells use the concrete to snatch him up and start crushing him up. Even though the X-Terminators are getting clobbered up by the concrete and crushed to death, Boom Boom launches out a few lucky time bombs, which explodes one key, setting off a whole chain of destruction. N'ASTIRH says, damn, I need that computer to be working. How am I going to fix it? I can't touch that damn computer, and I can't trust that little kid anymore. And Sim flies in talking about his techno-organic virus and how he's going to turn N'ASTIRH into a techno-organic being and then consume him. And N'ASTIRH says, maybe there is something to being techno-organic. N'ASTIRH says, yeah, sure, infect me. I want that. I want that power. You think you're going to consume me? No, I'm going to consume you. I'm no pigeon that you could just crush and consume. I'm N'ASTIRH, Master Sorcerer. And Sim's like, say what? And this is why we see so many variation colors with N'ASTIRH, the green and the red. So the red version of N'ASTIRH is when he's fully infected with the techno-organic virus, and upgraded version of N'ASTIRH. So he can now interface with technology, which is not good for anybody, because now he doesn't need Taki to interface with the computer. N'ASTIRH can interface with it and fix it at his own will. N'ASTIRH is almost unstoppable at this point. He can interface with the computer that's magnifying his spells. He doesn't need anybody to operate the computer, and he's interfacing with the computer, starting to fix it. Taki realizes what's going on. He needs to take responsibility because he made the computer. He feels that he can somehow offset N'ASTIRH and revert the computer back to how it was before, and maybe that'll stop N'ASTIRH. Taki's had a great evolution of character. You know, he's a cripple physically, but emotionally he's had a huge transformation. He used to hate people, mutants and humans, adults and children. He used to hate everybody. And now he's risking his life to save everybody. So a super heroic moment at this point. N'ASTIRH is fully interfaced with the machine. He's trying to fix it and have it do his will, while Taki is using all his strength to revert the computer back to its original form. What will happen then? Well, Taki has used all his mutant powers to revert the computer back to its original form, and he's saying, you know, when demons interface with computers, they explode. And now that N'ASTIRH is fully integrated with this computer, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to me? He's got to risk it for that biscuit. He's willing to sacrifice himself to save everybody. This is a bit like Lord of the Rings, and little Frodo is going to risk his own life to destroy the Ring of Power. It's very similar. Just as Taki had expected, once the computer had reverted back to its original state, its interface with a demon caused it to explode, and what an explosion indeed, ripping a hole into the sky. All the demons, everyone thinks that N'ASTIRH is destroyed. He's gone. No one can find him. And the demons are like, well, if the gates are closed, how are we going to get back to Limbo? And Sim takes the opportunity to recruit all N'ASTIRH's demons under his control. He said, we're going to keep this thing going, and we're going to take over Earth and live here, and I'll be the ruler. Everybody's running to Taki's body. He's laying there. Is he alive? Is he dead? Taki looks worse for wear. He looks super messed up, but he is alive. And The New Mutants have saved all 10 of the babies, which has shut down the star pentagram in the sky. The brash, recalcitrant, crippled Japanese kid Taki, with the bad attitude, wound up being the hero of the day. But if you think that the Inferno series is over, now you're mistaken. The beat goes on, and we continue in New Mutants number 72 and 73. Wow, what a great issue. I think Louise Simonson is just an exceptional writer. She even allowed N'ASTIRH to have a transformation going from his green demon form to being infected with the techno-organic virus, showing an evolution of character. She's excellent at character development. And also with Taki, showing how he's transformed his personal character from X-Terminators #1, where you kind of couldn't stand him, to now he's the actual hero of this whole series. So I thought it was great. I rated it 94 out of 100. Just some art drops at 6 points, but I still have a super high recommendation for this issue. And stay tuned for part number 25 coming in New Mutants issue number 73. Make sure to like this video, subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks for all the support. Be good to one another. I'll see you real soon. Peace.